Hello guys, this is Pap from Pap back at it again, and today we have another version with MACHINA, actually something in archetype that is very splashable as well in some in other machine monsters. I do love this version because I love Ancient Gears, so if you love some Ancient Gears, this is what I think makes Ancient Gears cog-worthy. With this version you can actually do something because there are some combos that actually synergize very well. But before jumping right into it, guys, just a quick reminder: if you enjoy the content, please leave a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it and it really helps me a lot. Let's jump right into it. So I'm here with the Dr. Crowther and his skill Middle Age Max. So let me start saying that something similar was already tried from another very good streamer. Check him out. His two links off both on Twitch and YouTube. So if you wanna do me a favor, check him out. And I actually don't remember the exact deck list that he was playing, but I made my own proportions in terms of copies of cards, number of copies of cards to play. And yeah, this is how it looks like. Let me start saying that, of course guys, of course, if you have triple MACHINA redeployment, definitely play 3. This card is just so good. So if you have 3, play 3. I'm gonna play 3 as soon as I get my hands on the third copy, so just be sure about that. So what's the combo? What's the synergy behind this? Well, the synergy is pretty easy. The Citadel can summon itself from the graveyard as anytime a machine type monster, a machine in Hearth machine type monster gets destroyed. And guess what? All the Ancient Gears are actually Hearth machine type. From there it comes the synergy, right? But there's more to that. So we have, of course, the classic stuff. We have the MACHINA core that consists of MACHINA gear frame, the Citadel, the Fortress, and the redeployment. That's all you need. These as a normal summon that actually you can. This should be your main normal summon or the Ancient Gear hunting ground. You do not want to have more than that. Then the Fortress, just so good because of course you want to have this in your hands. You can always special summon it even from the graveyard, just so versatile. I honestly love it. Citadel, I find myself better with too because we already play a couple of Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon that can make, you know, both these two together can actually break you. So 2 are enough because once one is in the graveyard, you are always gonna be able to summon it back to the field, of course. And you wanna play 2 just in case the 1 copy you have gets banished, for example, by a nice Dragon Prison. Then we have 2 Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon, just because I was playing 1 and I kept on drawing that 1 copy, and you want to have 1 copy in your deck because you have more ways to summon it. And of course the ways to summon it are the Gear Tome and the Ancient Gear Catapult. Now, thanks to the skill that simply let us start with the Middle Age Max on the field, the Ancient Gear Catapult becomes a 1-card summon. So if you have you go first, you have the Middle Age Max played by your skill, and you can just go Ancient Gear Catapult and go straight away in whatever you need. But what actually do you need? Well, the best combo is your main purpose should be to send a Citadel to the graveyard, to have a Citadel in the graveyard. And then the second step is, so you have to do whatever is in your power to actually send the Citadel to the graveyard. Second thing instead is to summon the Howitzer. Why? Because Howitzer is unaffected by other cards' effect. So the only way your opponent has to send Howitzer to the graveyard is by destroying it by battle. And when it's destroyed by battle, it can special summon an ancient gear from your deck, ignoring its summoning condition, and usually you either summon the Wyvern from the deck or an ancient gear reactor dragon the next turn is ready to attack. Or actually, as you will see in the replays, you can use this as an offensive weapon. You attack. Actually, I'm gonna explain you in the replay, so check those. But the second important thing that is actually the most important is that Howitzer is a machine hearth machine monster. So what happens when it's destroyed and you have a Citadel in the graveyard? Exactly, Citadel comes back. So when your opponent pops this, and keep in mind your opponent has no other ways other than attacking into this, your opponent is gonna find himself with an ancient gear reactor dragon and the Citadel ready to activate its effect. So that's the majestic combo out of this, and I simply love it. So you usually want to use in your normal summon, you want to use, so your number one priority is to summon Howitzer, because once you have Howitzer, it's almost impossible for your opponent to go through this and inflict you 4k damage in life points. That's why you want to go with this. Then you, with the catapult, you just have so much place, because eventually you can just go into an Xyz to get rid of some annoying cards. So we have the Castle to shuffle a card back into the deck. The Diamond Direwolf, that is very nice. Why is it very nice? Because a party can pop generic cards, even if they are set, of course. The other thing is that if you manage somehow to summon the Diamond Direwolf without the Ancient Gear Catapult, what you can do is actually you use its effect, you pop himself in order to have no monsters on the field, so that you can use the Ancient Gear Catapult. Because Catapult has the only downside of Catapult is that you can use it only if you control no monsters. Second thing, Catapult has an insane synergy with the Citadel. Why? Because Catapult has another effect from the graveyard, but keep in mind you can only use one effect of Catapult per turn, and only once that turn. The second is you banish this card from the graveyard, and target one face-up card you control, destroy it, and then you summon a token. It's not for the token, of course, but it's because if you pop a Hearth machine monster, you get to summon the Citadel back from the graveyard, of course. Then we're playing the Gear Town because it's simply an amazing synergy with the Catapult. So you get double summon out of one card, actually two, and the Fortress for the same reason. You can pop the Fortress and have and summon a monster from the graveyard or the hand. But the Fortress is another good effect that you actually can literally use that. You can use this to make your ancient gear untargetable and indestructible by card effects the turn they are summoned. So this becomes a very lethal weapon with the ancient gear reactor dragon. Guys, that is all. Of course we have this, but usually do not want to start with this, because your normal summon is either the gear frame to maybe add the Citadel or a Fortress just to have, of course, a Citadel in the graveyard, or you want to start with a Hunting Ground in order to use its effect, fusion summon, and end on an Howitzer. You do not want to normal summon this, you want to special summon this with the Catapult. That's the reason why we play only one copy. Anyway, guys, that's the end of the explanation. Stay tuned for the replays. Some of those are insane. You're gonna see some crazy OTK plays with the Howitzer in attack position, because I'm gonna explain you one important rule in the replays. Stay tuned for those. Let's jump right into them. Here we go, my boys. First replay. I think I'm on Legend Rank 3. With this deck I managed to go all the way to Legend Rank 4. It's our opponent to go first, and he has Raw. So not an easy thing, because actually it's you can set on that on the sphere, and also of course the Immortal Phoenix is something that is actually almost impossible to deal with, except if you're playing our boy, the Howitzer. Howitzer does not care about Immortal Phoenix. You're gonna see why. So this guy, of course, had the full combo first turn. He's got, but because he's going first, he can just end on the sphere, right? The sphere, though, it's not that much of a problem for us. I mean, we can't still go through this, but because we need the Citadel. We need the Citadel in order to get rid of this, because Citadel has an non-targeting effect destruction, and this guy cannot be targeted, but of course can be destroyed. So it's us to go first. We have the castle, so we start with Catapult, as I told you, to summon the Hunting Ground. Hunting Ground to just go into Howitzer, that's you want to do, so you are safe, and you literally 90% of the cases you can't be OTK'd when you have Howitzer. Then we got the gear frame to grab the fortress, but it doesn't matter because we use the redeployment anyway to grab both the Citadel and the fortress. Then we discard the Citadel because we won't have that in the graveyard. Plus I use the gear frame to keep the Howitzer, not the best idea to be honest, because we actually want the Howitzer to be destroyed. So he started with the effect of the sphere, so he's going to go all the way into the Mortal Phoenix. And so with the Mortal Phoenix we can have a problem actually, because actually we do not have a problem, but he made an interesting play, because guess what, he went into double Immortal Phoenix. So look at that. But what happens is that even if he pays life points, he can only send to the graveyard the other one, not this. He tried to send the Howitzer, but he just couldn't. So he sent the fortress, no effect, he attacks once, protected, attacks the second, Howitzer uses effect, and also Citadel comes out. Now we're chilling, because in the end phase both the Immortal Phoenix are going to go away, and they're going to summon of course the sphere, actually double sphere. But in the end phase we can just use the effect of Citadel, pop itself, pop everything. At this point there's nothing we need to care anymore. Hound's effect, again the effect to go straight away into another Howitzer to inflict even more damage, and once we attack with the Wyvern he can't activate anything. We could have done so much stuff that was just not needed. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. Second duel, my boys, Ishizu on the way. Let's see, it's us to go first. We got the gear frame to begin with. As you can see, we had the Hunting Ground, but no other ancient gear monsters to go into Howitzer. That's why it's not worth it, of course, to go into the Howitzer summon. So we just went double fortress plus gear frame protecting. So now you could take into account having a rank 7. But you know, with the Citadel in the grave, you just do not wanna exceed, because you wanna have more chances to summon the Citadel. That's it. So it's got Live Twin, that to be honest is just almost a sure win for this deck. Like Live Twin has so much troubles against Machina, so you're chilling. It's got the usual combo, the Lila, as you can see, of course summoning the Kiseki to draw a card. Let's see on how many back row is gonna end up. It's got another Kiseki to add the pop next turn, and of course triple set. Plus, look at that, Alpha, the monster of beast, even actually triple backers and even more to go on with. And he bounced one of those, but that's totally fine because we have the other one. Now we got an Ancient Gear card, so we can just start with the Hunting Ground. He decided not to pop it, actually doing a mistake, and this is gonna cost him the duel. Look at Howitzer, we are now chilling because this is unaffected. We inflict some damage, and now it comes the battle phase, so stay with me, this is an important rule. When Howitzer attacks and he pops itself, you get to summon a monster, right? And of course we're going to go into the Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon. Keep in mind that with the summon of Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon, there's no room for your opponent to activate anything, because so it gets popped, we activate the effect of Howitzer to summon of course the Citadel also as well, because of the effect of Citadel, and the effect of Howitzer to summon the Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon. So now, if you stop there, your opponent can't do nothing. It's your priority now. And if you attack with the Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon, you know what that happens. When these attacks, your opponent's spell trap and monster's effect cannot be activated, so you can just go all the way. So we attacked straight away and popped a back row. There was no room to activate anything. He used the Canadia on the Citadel, but that's fine, we can still attack. He's got only one card left and so many interruptions. He just scooped this point. So learn that the Howitzer is such a lethal weapon when he crashes itself to summon the Reactor Dragon and the Citadel. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. Third duel, my boys, we have Jaden, but it's not Eternal Bond, so it's Constellars. So let's see what they have. Actually, tier 2 deck, if I'm not wrong. It's not tier 1, right? It's tier 2. So we have the we can actually speed things up. This dude is gonna end up, of course, on the Pleiades and the Omega, as you can see, plus double back row. Now it's us to go. We start with the gear frame because we have no other normal summon. Gear frame to get the fortress. Then first, no, actually double summon, as you can see, into the the fortress. Basically, he has the Book of Moon to begin with. Nice. Then we attack with the second. He has to play this here, but he loses the card in his hand. And guess what? We have the gear frame. We can just crush ourselves, even if you use Omega to protect from back rows, but we don't play back rows. Citadel is coming back to just attack the Pleiades, and we're chilling. Now, whatever he's going to do, we can just, as soon as he summons Caduceus, we use the effect of Citadel, pop everything, we're chilling. Next turn, with the Gear Town, we can just summon the Reactor Dragon out of the castle. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. Third win in a row, guys. Let's see what we have here. It's our opponent to go first. We have a nice hand. It's got the Encamouflage, as you can see, to go into the, actually to draw a card. It's got the Spellbook of Spellbook Magician of Prophecy, so it's gonna draw a couple of cards more, and he can summon the Encamouflage from the extra deck. Of course, the max kicking in, we got the Ancient Gear Catapult, so we first activate the Gear Town, then Catapult. That has to be the first thing you do, because if you have monsters on the field, you can't activate the Catapult, keep in mind that. Now with the Gear Town, we can just have a couple of summons. So we got the Reactor Dragon with the Catapult, and Gear Town summons the Wyvern to get the Fortress. Now that we activate the Fortress, these guys becomes untargetable because they were both summoned this turn. He knows that, he knew that, and he chained the Karma Cut. So to banish, of course, the Reactor Dragon, and then at this point we got the Hunting Hound, use its effect to fusion summon into the Howitzer, so some more damage. And guess what now? Redeployment to get the Citadel and another Fortress. We got the Fortress from the graveyard. We crash with the Howitzer, summon, of course, the Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon and the Citadel. But guess what happens now? Look at another cooler interaction. So now we have the Reactor Dragon, and as I told you in the previous duel, when you attack with Reactor Dragon, there's no room for your opponents to do anything. So we attack with the Reactor Dragon, right? And as soon as we enter in the battle step, we use Citadel's effect. We pop everything. So this becomes a direct attack that is lethal thanks to the boost of Castle, and your opponents can't activate nothing. Nothing. There's no room for response here. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. Last but not least, fourth win in a row. Let's see what we have. We're going second again, and we have a pretty good hand even to go first, because as you could see, we have just gone into Howitzer plus searching the Citadel and putting that in the graveyard. This guy has Constellars again. As you can see, we have no trouble against Constellars going first. A lot of people said, if Constellar goes first, it's unstoppable. Not sure a role for this deck. So he's got the chart, so he's got Pleiades, of course, to begin with, drawing a card, then I guess another summon, another chart actually, Zombre to have an additional summon, the Zubena Shamali, and actually he went into the Omega, another draw of course, and yeah, usual with one back row only though, so I guess we're lucky. So the Angel Mag to begin with, we got the Catapult as well, so we pop our own castle to go straight away into Reactor Dragon, and this is already something he has to take care of, right? So we go with the Hunting Gown. He went with the Book of Moon on the Hunting Gown. Very nice move. He still gets damage though. Then redeployment to get the Citadel and the Fortress. Guess what now? We summon the Fortress, and then he uses the effect of Pleiades to bounce the Reactor Dragon. Totally fine. We attack with this. we pop the Omega actually, and then the Citadel comes back. Look at that. There's nothing you can do now because we're sitting on a lightning vortex, on a dark hole. So it's got Zubana Shamali, the Caduceus, but as soon as he summoned the Caduceus, we can just use Citadel's effect to pop everything. That's how you do it, my boys. There you go. So guys, I simply love this. The interaction with Howitzer and Citadel is just crazy. Honestly, all of those people that wanted to cog with the Ancient Gears, this is your time to shine. You can do it with the Machina. Of course, I think the biggest problem is the Fortress. That is a new R, but it's still in a mini box, so you can get at least a couple of copies. While the other problem is the new box, the redeployment. I know that could be hard. It was tough for me as well to get 2 copies. I imagine 3. But yeah, this deck works. It's so fun to play. And yeah, Ancient Gears are always lovely, and they will always have a special place in my heart. Guys, that is all for today's video. Hope you enjoyed this. I'm just having so much fun with this Machina stuff. Hope you enjoyed this as well. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thanks a lot for watching, and as always, see you in the next one.